Dumb and Dumber have been confronted at a Norwegian airport. Welcome back to the channel. I'm referring to Patrick Stewart and Kevin Thelwell. Fans were not happy. They were pointing out this is their way of life. They're treating it like some wee Diddy game. And it got heated, folks, right? And people are going to be like, oh, that's a step too far. That's this, that's that. We've seen it a couple of weeks ago when Martin was in charge in a hotel lobby. Now, they were heated then, right? But it wasn't really directed too much towards Patrick Stewart and Kevin Thelwell. It was to a degree, but it was more on Martin and when he used to going to act and sack him. But now Martin's went, and the fans are looking for someone to blame. And at this early stage, no one's going to be going all in on Danny Rowe. You gotta roll with it. No one's going to be doing that, alright? They're going to be still looking at Patrick Stewart and Thelwell. And it's not just a case of this is blame for the sake of blame. These guys are getting blamed because they actually are to blame. Look at the state of that transfer window. I am sick to death of talking about Yusuf Shermiti, but you know the score, guys. We've spent a lot of money on that guy for a guy that's no scored a goal in 2.5 years. A guy that's no scored a goal in 2.5 months would be bad enough, but 2.5 years, disgusting. We have brought in loans that are crazy. Look at the fees. We are bringing in Premier League loans that are costing £2, £3, £4 million. And it's not, even if they were great, you'd still question it because it's like, well, we're not bringing anyone in for the future. We're bringing people in just for this season. But at the same time, if loans work out and you win things, then I'm not going to mind them too much. But then at the same time, they're neglecting areas of the pitch. Makoma, the only left back we've got. Now, Cornelius can play there, but he's a centre back. So therefore, we've only got one left back. And Kevin Thelwell's trying to justify the signing of Yusuf Shermiti. Oh, he's one for the future. I've followed him throughout his career. You cannot spend 10 million in this league, in this climate, on a guy that's one for the future, who is not ready at any level. Doesn't matter if he's played against a team in Europe. Doesn't matter if he's played a game domestically. Yusuf Shermiti looks out of his depth. Is it any wonder that a guy that hasn't scored a goal in 2.5 years looks out of his depth? We don't know what his level is. He scored for the Portuguese under-21s against Gibraltar schoolboys. Now, to be fair, I have no idea how he's even getting picked for the Portuguese under-21s because it's not like Portugal is a team that it's not a top team. They are a top nation, and they'll definitely look like Ronaldo, man, Rafael Leo, those guys up front, the likes of Bruno Fernandes. Well, why? I know. So he's not getting picked for the actual team, but the fact that he's getting picked just a couple of wee teams below that in the under-21s still baffles me. But this guy needs called out. You're looking at the signing of Fernandes, $3.5 million for a guy that has barely kicked a ball. We literally got the St Mirren game moved forward because we were too scared to play Fernandes. Looking at the defending, because we wanted to play De Giga, right? I think his only start's been against Alba. You look at the state of the defending against Brann. Look at the state of the defending against Dundee United. Look at the state of the defending every game. Why can't we get guys starting that haven't been starting? Why is James Tavernier coming out after the game? Oh, I'm angry. Some of these players don't get it. James Tavernier is a massive part of the reasons why the standards have dropped. He is the Grim Reaper. We've been over this. This is his 8th manager that he has sat on in 10 seasons. That in itself is crazy. And also, right, see if Tav was actually good tonight and he put in a shift and wasn't at fault for any of the goals, he might have half a claim here. But no one was good, and he was massively at fault for that first goal. James Tavernier, about 50 yards away from his centre-backs, and they play in behind and they score from it. I don't want to hear anything James Tavernier's got to say. James Tavernier should have been saying this kind of stuff years ago, after things began to go bad. When Gerrard left, and then we started losing games under Gio, and then he got sacked, and then Beale and Clement. That's when he should have been coming out and calling out his teammates. But see, at this point, when we're sitting 6th in the league, Is it because sixth in the league's not good enough for him, but second is that because that's been his level up at the past like 3-4 seasons? Is this a step too far for James Tavernier? Guys, that guy needs sorted out because he needs dropped for the team. He needs to be told that you cannot be pushing 50 yards up that pitch when we are 0-0 away from home in Europe. Because he cost us the first goal, and then the defending for the other goals is not exactly great. But so you could play Fernandes and then Salah. Play Cornelius at left back, even though I'd probably rather play Cornelius at centre back, and then right back, who's that leave us? I don't know. Right, Max Aarons. Oh, throw Max Aarons back in, guys. No matter, honestly, man, this season feels like it's just been ripped by the person that hates us most because it just gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. But back to the confrontation at the airport. Honestly, as long as there's nothing physical, there's nothing wrong with this. Just probably apart from a bunch of Norwegians probably wondering what the hell is going on. Why are all these guys screaming at each other? You know, it's kind of funny from that aspect of it. But yeah, because if you didn't laugh, you'd greet. But Stewart and Thelwell, they need told. They need to feel the heat, folks. Make no mistake about it. Because the job that they have done, they couldn't have done a worse job. And Andrew Kavanagh came out the other day. He's like, "Oh, we're going to have money. We're going to spend money in January. Don't worry, Danny Rowe's going to be backed. So we're going to give Kevin Thelwell, Patrick Stewart, and the head of recruitment, Robbie Thelwell, more money to ruin this team." He spent 40 million in the summer, and it's put us back years. We don't even look like the third best team in the country, guys. Aye, the third best. Third is going to be a struggle. We are literally the worst team in the Europa League right now. We are last in the Europa League, despite playing 3 very favourable games. There's no more excuses. These two need to go. And what's going to happen? Should Ibrox be empty come the Killie game? Aye, it should be. Messages need to get sent. I mean, I do feel for Danny Rowe. He has walked into an absolute dumpster fire, an absolute disaster. But at the same time, he's got to get a tune at these players. He's been brought in for that reason. Nothing can happen until January. You can't bring in any other players. And we've played 2 games since Martin was sacked. And in terms of both games, who's done the better job out of Stevie Smith and Danny Rowe? Got to have to lean towards Stevie Smith. We actually played good for 45 minutes. We were disgustingly bad tonight across 90 odd minutes. So Danny Rowe, he's got a massive game on Sunday against Killie. Who knows what's going to happen then? You'd be lying if you said you had confidence. Well, there's nothing to suggest confidence, man. We've deserved to lose every game in the league so far, and it probably won't change on Sunday. Anyway, the fans have spoken. Will Stewart and Thelwell go anywhere? No, I'm not expecting them to go anywhere. It's going to take a little bit more pain, but hopefully they can go. But we cannot afford to be giving these guys any more money, man. Like, say the 49ers are actually going to put 20 more million, right, in January in. These guys can't be spending it. Because then you're going to be racking up a lot of money. And it's not even a case of, oh, you're backing the wrong horse, or it's 1 or 2. We are the 40 million we've spent. How are we going to make that back? What players are actually resellable? What players can we make a profit on? Maybe Gazima, but even he's been off the boil. Shermiti, that's just throwing 10 million in the fire. Fernandes, 10 million in the fire. All these loan fees, 10 million I say tens of millions in the fire. The Gigas, the Mikey Moores, the Max Aarons, all these guys that are coming for Premier League clubs, that is just burning money because every single one of them shite. At least the Giga looked alright early on. But yeah, Danny Rowe, son, sort it out on Sunday. You can sort it on the pitch. As for Thelwell and Patrick Stewart, Ibrox should be empty on Sunday. Messages need to get sent. We are at rock bottom and we're continuing to get worse with each passing day. Till next time, peace.